Hello? Hello? You hear me? Nice. All right. Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about building with Rust on Polkadot. So I'll start with a brief history lesson about Polkadot, and then I'm going to go over the state of things and the road ahead in terms of chain and smart contract development in Polkadot, and then some final questions or final comments and time for questions. My name is Daan from Plas. I am a PBA alumni. I went to Cambridge. I worked at Parity for 1 year as a support engineer, answering a bunch of questions all the time, and consider myself a Polkadot developer. And now, since 2 years now, I think, I'm a co-founder at Rogue. The mission of Rogue is to lead the development of innovative solutions, enabling developers, communities, and businesses to harness the full potential of Web3. So our main projects at the moment are the POP CLI, an all-in-one tool for Polkadot development. We are part of the Ink Alliance. So Ink is Polkadot's Rust smart contract language. And we co-maintain Paseo, Polkadot's testnet. And we try to help businesses to maybe build with Web3, with Polkadot. Okay, so a brief history lesson about Polkadot. So Polkadot's focus at the start, or from the start, was parachains. So, I don't know, allowing people or giving people the tooling and everything, or everything that they need to build a chain for their use case. So, chains in Polkadot, they benefit from the security that the relay chain Polkadot provides, which is unique. At the same time, all these chains that connect to Polkadot, they can talk to each other without bridges, which is also pretty cool. Polkadot's parachains they're good. They have good throughput. And they're all built with the Polkadot SDK, what you guys are learning right now. So building blockchains within the Polkadot ecosystem is quite, well, easy is a big word, but yeah, teams were able to customize their own blockchain and join this network of blockchains. So with this focus that Polkadot first had, there were some challenges. So chain development is hard, as you guys see right now. At the same time, building a successful chain is not only like building it technically, but you need to build a community around it. Like you need good docs, you need good tooling. So in a network of chains, all starting from scratch in a way, it takes a lot of investment and time to do that properly. What this also led was that the ecosystem was very scattered. So when someone entered Polkadot, it was like, all right, this is Polkadot, we have 40 chains, and then directed to these chains, and it was not really easy to quickly just get to, I don't know, just building something, apart from a chain. But again, that was very complex. And Polkadot had no smart contracts, which was kind of like the big thing. So what this led was kind of like a very cool, good infrastructure, like roads, electricity, all that kind of stuff to build a lot of cities on Polkadot land. However, the cities themselves struggled a lot to thrive. So the cities were quite empty, and therefore also Polkadot as a whole was quite empty. So, change of strategy. 1 year ago, the Polkadot hub idea came to life. So what this meant was, okay, we have all this Polkadot functionalities on Polkadot itself and the system chains. Let's all migrate that to Asset Hub, put smart contract functionality on there. At the same time, Polka VM came to life, so a new virtual machine that allowed to run Solidity contracts. So put Solidity on there as well, the main focus actually, to attract developers from other ecosystems and projects, and yeah, like use the throughput of Polkadot, and really build a thriving city. So it's funny, Polkadot started with this infrastructure, while other ecosystems started with building a thriving city. And now Polkadot is trying to build a thriving city, while other ecosystems are trying to build that infrastructure. So in the end, we're kind of like racing to a multi-chain world with thriving cities. Let's see who gets there first. All right, so back to building with Rust and Polkadot, chains and smart contracts. First, chains. So, state of things. We have the Polkadot SDK, we have the POP CLI, and we have P. Polkadot SDK gives you out of the box blockchains that work, are of high quality. You have all these pallets to your reach that you can plug into your blockchain, configure it to your needs, and yeah, there is so much tooling and libraries and resources around it, which we have like developed over the years to build blockchains. That's good. Now, we have the POP CLI. So the POP CLI is trying to solve one issue that we had before, which is like we had a lot of tooling, but they were all separate from each other. And if you look at other ecosystems, you have basically one tool and it does everything that you need. So that's what we're trying to do here with POP CLI. Of course, I'm biased here, but really, we're just trying to improve Polkadot developer experience. So let us know how we can improve it, and we'll do it. But it covers the full life cycle of starting a new project, building it, benchmarking it, testing it, runtime upgrades, deploying it, and then some other cool features that you need, and we're adding more. So yeah, hopefully this can improve the developer experience here for chain development. And then there's the PDP. PDP handles the infrastructure. You guys have had a presentation from Daria, but it handles the infrastructure, the deployment. POP CLI and PDP actually work together here. And they provide this nice UI to deploy and maintain your chain without having to handle all the other bullshit. So, road up ahead. So I think the current state of like building chains is solid. And I think we need to focus on something else a little more. It's more important, which is getting experts, you guys, and going out into the world and finding people that have problems and could maybe potentially use blockchain as a solution. And yeah, like use that expertise to translate those problems into Web3 solutions, and then hopefully, better the world. So yeah, that's, I think, the most important thing. So guys, no pressure, but our people, guys and women, no pressure, but okay. So smart contract, state of things. Ink, POP CLI, and the Polkadot Hub. Ink, Rust smart contract language, built alongside the Polkadot SDK since I think like 6 or 7 years ago. Since 1 year, the Ink Alliance came to life, and we are now developing and maintaining Ink. Before it was Parity. Parity has done a really good job. Ink is a really solid language. And right now we have been working on making it compatible and ready for Polka VM and Polkadot Hub. And it's now also Solidity compatible. So we can ink contracts can interact with Solidity contracts. Tooling can be used, etc., so that we can really coexist on this Polkadot Hub. Again, POP CLI also covers everything for Ink smart contract development and the Polkadot Hub. So there's finally focus in Polkadot on one thing, and that's the hub, or most of its focus, which is good. The focus is like attracting these Solidity developers and projects and like quickly bootstrap like a thriving city. And there are already some compiles. I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's basically allowing contracts to tap into palettes. Yeah, so you build a precompile on top of a palette, and then smart contracts can use that functionality. And there are now already like 2, I think, for assets with the ERC20 interface and XCM, so sending and executing XCM messages. So with this focus of Solidity, a lot, like, oh shit, I should have hide. Don't see that. But why ink? Well, fuck. Okay, I wanted to ask you guys, but it's already on the screen. Yes, you're right. Correct. So it's indeed it's Polkadot native. So like one advantage that it has is that in order to interact with these precompiles, you need, well, the functionality of the SDK is in Rust, and Solidity doesn't have certain complex types. So for example, interacting with XCM is going to be a lot easier in Ink than in Solidity. And then it's Rust, so it's very secure, or it's a secure language, and it's also performant, question mark, after a conversation that I had with Sean 1 hour ago. And yeah, so we're always talking about like, okay, there's this very big pool of Solidity developers. I think last time we checked it was like 30,000, but like don't forget about the Rust developers. There are a lot more. And outside of Web3, it's a very good language to learn. Yeah, you'll have very big chances for, or it's good for your career. Oh. But no, it's a very big developer tool, and that's where Ink can tap into, and Polkadot can tap into. So, yeah, that's why we're still pursuing Ink. And we love Rust. We want to build with Rust. So, road up ahead. Ink v6, the Polkadot Hub. So, with Ink v6, and in general, there should be a lot of focus on developer experience. I think this was the big issue previously, where it was just not polished enough. That's should and will be the main focus. Ink will have to find its place on the Polkadot Hub. Because, yeah, like it is easier to build with Solidity. But what is better to do in Ink than Solidity? Now, well, one is XCM, what we called, or what I previously explained. But also, yeah, there are use cases where with Ink, with Rust, it's better to build your smart contract. And lastly, so that is what we're going to focus on, or that should be the focus. And lastly is building a community. You want to be supported, you want to be heard, you want to have other people to build with, and that's just, I think, the most important of everything. And yeah, that is going to be, or should be, the focus for the upcoming period. Now, what about Polkadot Hub? So the road up ahead, we need hackathons. We need to start building and, I don't know, like breaking shit and building weird stuff. I don't know. Like, we don't know what we need to build, what we should build. We should just build and see what works. At the same time, we should listen to those people and, yeah, like, hear what is good, what doesn't work, improve, iterate, yada, yada. I think this is a problem. Or that was hard previously with, like, this scattered ecosystem. Because, yeah, it was just, there was no central place where we could really, like, just talk to people, and it was fun. And anyway, listen and improve. And then lastly, innovate. So, yeah, hopefully with a thriving city, good developer experience, an SDK underneath where we can really innovate not only in building smart contracts and applications on top of it, but like we have experience in the ecosystem to upgrade and innovate chains. So that's exactly what Asset Hub should do, and then expose that functionality again to the smart contracts, and then hopefully, yeah, do some cool stuff. So that was building with Rust and Polkadot. I didn't cover one thing, which is like interacting with a chain. There's one very good library, subXT, that's also built in Rust. That's still being worked on, and it's a very cool project. We use it also with the POP CLI, so just wanted to mention that. Then these are some very interesting articles that I came across while making this presentation. This is made by cool people in Polkadot. So if you have a chance, or if you want to read more about all of this, then have a look. Useful links: Inc, Pop, Rogue. Check it out. And then, yeah, I'm here until the end of the PBA. Any feedback, you want to contribute, you have questions, tap on my shoulder, shout my name. My name is Daan. And I am very happy to talk with you, get to know you, like really, really. Then hydrate, eat healthy, sleep good, socialize. Guys, really, socialize is an opportunity to meet people that you can like talk with, have the same interest with for the rest of your life. Like that's what I have experienced after the PBA. So don't forget to do that. And yeah, you guys or everyone, you can do it. Any questions? No? No. No questions? Anything? I'm from Holland. Oh, yeah.
If you don't mind, actually, I would love for you to share some insight. Being a PBA student, am I going? Going PBA student and then going out and then starting a startup in the Polkadot ecosystem. Are there things that PBA didn't teach you that you learned the hard way, that you learned being in the space, and things that you would have wished to have known, you know, as a student sitting in this room?
Well, one thing that you do learn at the PBA is resilience, because doing a startup is not easy. Teamwork, yeah.
Are any of your co-founders also part PBA alumni?
Yes, yeah. Or they yeah.
Were they from your cohort?
One, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think teamwork is, yeah, with a team you can do a lot more than on your own, and I don't know, pressure, stress, giving and receiving feedback, planning and strategy and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, teamwork, that's the biggest thing I would say, and anything else? No, nothing I can think of. No. Yes, Nikos? Oh.
I'm not too familiar with how Jam is planning to work, but is the idea to migrate the community from like Polkadot currently to Jam, or is it to keep it separate?
That is, I think, an open question in the community. Yeah, I'm not sure. Is there already a definitive
Wait.
decision?
So I just want to mention that
Yeah, he knows.
the current community is the Polkadot community, and with Jam, it will still be the Polkadot community, and we want to get more people in. We don't want to like migrate a community from A to B. Jam is an upgrade of Polkadot, a technical upgrade. It's not a replacement. We will use the same community. Like the people that are running validators now will just change their software and now run like Jam instead of the relay chain, for example. But then like all of the rest will be the same. We will have the Polkadot Hub, we will have the POP CLI, we will have Polkadot SDK as you're using it, maybe rename it to Parachains SDK, because it's specific to parachains. We will have smart contract development. We will just add more things, more avenues for people to contribute, like different types of apps or different languages that you can use. So we're growing the community. We're not like having to migrate it or change it at all.
I think the state is also going to be migrated.
Yeah,
to Jam.
I mean, we have to do a lot of things to migrate, to do this technical upgrade. But on what you guys learned and on what we like, and on the community level, there's a lot of work we have to do, but not specifically for migrating to Jam. That's just a technical thing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dan, for the presentation. What are the difficulties that you have as a team and as a tool you have already faced in the past months of existence? And what are the difficulties that you anticipate down the road?
What are the difficulties that we have faced with the team? And what are
The ones that you anticipate down the road, the ones that you know they're coming. It's an easy one.
Well, I think like the industry as a whole, and therefore also Polkadot, like so many things happen, so like strategy shifts and things change, so you have to constantly adapt. That's one. That's a difficulty. Building something stable that always works is also very hard, especially on Polkadot, because Polkadot hasn't figured it out also yet. What to anticipate?
Expect chaos.
Expect. Yeah, no clue. Like so many things, but the biggest thing that everything that we're doing might not be, I don't know, like relevant or whatever. But yeah, like that's always the case. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, probably easier than Nikos, but about Solidity interop. Can Solidity smart contracts also interact with XCM and with the precompiled?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so they can. I don't know, like with the current XM precompile Cisco, can they? Or would they need higher levels of abstraction?
So they can. It's not the easiest with Solidity itself, but another thing that you can do, so we're making the hub to be fully like Solidity compatible, so you can create and deploy Solidity smart contracts on the hub. And what you can do, which is what he mentioned about the interoperability, you can call from a Solidity smart contract an Inc. smart contract. And in Inc. land, we have like it's Rust, so we have all the primitives for XCM and so on. So it's just much easier to use it. So then you can just build, like, package up XCM in like a little Rust library that anyone can create. Anyone can create an Inc smart contract and deploy it alongside Solidity. And then from Solidity, you just call that contract and do sort of like how in Python you would do like a C extension for some other thing. It's just this interoperability of the languages, which we think would be very beneficial.
Yeah, I have, I mean, this is more like an open question, but how we can face one of the main issues that hackathon brings to the blockchain ecosystem in general, which is like zombie projects. And I mean, because there's a lot of people, I mean, I come from Ethereum ecosystem, so I've seen that there's a lot of people like farming hackathons, just like farming grants and, you know, like prizes, but then the MVPs and POCs like just are dead and don't continue. But I know this initiative is focused on, you know, push the ecosystem in a certain way, but also this brings this other issue. But I don't know if there's any, you know, like thoughts on this. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you would have to ask Parity Leadership, but I think it's like getting the big projects and, yeah, the smaller ones. I don't know, those projects can still try to get a grant or whatever, but the only way currently is to go through OpenGov, and OpenGov is strict, or like they will not just give everyone money. So yeah, I think we are set up for that. To give the good projects the funding, I guess. That's I think what Polkadot is set up to do, yeah.
Yeah, for the KSD hackathons, currently there are really focused tasks. We recently ran the hackathon at Web3 Summit, and there is like a ZK track specifying like ZK stuff, especially on Kusama. And then there is like a proof of personhood currently that is quite a big track for hackathons. And then usually there is like Polkadot Tinkerers, where you can actually use the tool like Polkadot Deploy and try to like play out and, you know, be a little bit more free. And what else? Social media, there was something about decentralized social media. But usually there are like some different tracks, and then we select the best projects, and then based on milestones, we follow up with those projects. So there is kind of like a structure, and we try not to have like zombie projects. But yeah, it's always difficult to ensure this, right? Because usually it depends on the people, right? You bet on the people, and it's kind of difficult when you have a hackathon that is like 2-3 days long. Yeah, but I would say there is kind of a structure there. And by the way, there is like a global hackathon starting next month. There is on the wiki.polkadot network, there is a banner. You can register, and there are prizes, and it's like a 6-week-long hackathon that is run, I mean, it's funded by the Web3 Foundation. And there are like assigned judges, and there are specific, how to say, like specific tracks, right, where you can, and by the way, one of them is like Polkadot Tinkerers, where you can use Polkadot Deploy. And Daria, you can reach out to her anytime, bother. No, but yeah, I mean, there is this hackathon. I really recommend every one of you to consider applying. Yeah.
So, apologies. When you talked about sub-XC, I was a bit distracted. So I want to know how it's relevant to your presentation. sub-XT on your slide.
Yeah. What about it?
Yeah. How is it relevant to your presentation? I was a bit distracted when you talked about it, when you spoke about it.
SubXT, it's a library tool to interact with chains, and it's good, and it's maintained. People should use it. People should check it out, but I didn't talk about it. That's,
I see.
yeah. It's also something to build with Rust on Polkadot, but yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm going to be here all night.